The murder of Laci Peterson. The Scott Peterson case is a compelling saga of love, betrayal, and a shocking act of violence that captivated the nation's attention in the early 2000s. This video delves into the story of Scott Peterson and the diverse theories that emerged surrounding his involvement in the disappearance and murder of his pregnant wife, Laci Peterson. In December 2002, Laci Peterson, a 27-year-old expectant mother, vanished from her Modesto, California home. She was 8 months pregnant with her first child, a son whom she and her husband, Scott Peterson, had planned to name Connor. Scott reported Laci missing on Christmas Eve, sparking an extensive search effort and media frenzy. As the investigation unfolded, the spotlight turned to Scott Peterson, who quickly became the prime suspect in his wife's disappearance. Suspicion intensified when details emerged about Scott's extramarital affair with Amber Frey, a massage therapist. The revelation of his infidelity tarnished Scott's image as a devoted husband and raised questions about his possible motives for harming Laci. Several theories emerged regarding Scott Peterson's involvement in his wife's disappearance and presumed murder. One prevailing theory posited that Scott, motivated by a desire to escape the responsibilities of marriage and impending fatherhood, orchestrated Laci's murder to pursue a new life with Amber Frey. Proponents of this theory pointed to Scott's deceitful behavior, including his attempts to sell Laci's car and the boat he had used for fishing on the day of her disappearance, as evidence of his guilt. Another theory suggested that Laci's disappearance may have been the result of a botched burglary or random act of violence. However, skeptics of this theory argued that the circumstances surrounding Laci's disappearance, including the absence of signs of forced entry or struggle at the Peterson home, cast doubt on the plausibility of an intruder scenario. Throughout the investigation and subsequent trial, the media played a significant role in shaping public perception of the case. Sensationalized coverage and speculation fueled public interest in the Peterson case, turning it into a true crime sensation that gripped the nation. In April 2003, the remains of Laci Peterson and her unborn son were discovered along the shoreline of San Francisco Bay, not far from where Scott had claimed to have been fishing on the day of her disappearance. The recovery of their bodies marked a tragic end to the search for Laci and Connor and strengthened the case against Scott Peterson. In November 2004, Scott Peterson was convicted of the first-degree murder of his wife, Laci, and the second-degree murder of their unborn son, Connor. He was sentenced to death by lethal injection, a decision that was met with both relief and outrage by those who had followed the case. The Scott Peterson case continues to fascinate and divide public opinion, with some maintaining his innocence and others convinced of his guilt. Regardless of where one stands on the issue, the story of Scott and Laci Peterson serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of domestic violence and the enduring quest for justice in the face of tragedy.